Hey folks, it's Billy DKY, the truth seeker that simplifies and demystifies. This is going to be my spiritual revolution doubt. And this basically comes up from a comment on my channel by Reeling. He says, I don't know about your missionary to be savior of the spiritual world. Perhaps it will turn out to be just your own world, since I don't hold much hope for the rest of the world. Even though I enjoy your videos, honesty, wisdom, and depth, keep it up. So I figured we should talk about this, talk about the spiritual revolution doubt, which will eventually turn into a religion. Can't be avoided. And I've got some notes here on my dry erase board that I want to talk about. And because I personally can see it happen. I've known it from the beginning. I used to tell my ex-wife even what was going to happen. And I told her, if you really want to stay, and this is when we're in the process of, breaking up and divorce, so there's only one woman that's going to be in my life. It's a woman who's fully committed to being the greatest woman she can possibly be, enlightenment or whatever. So obviously she didn't do it, so we're not together. But okay, so basically I want to address the doubt, because in my mind there's really no, I'm not saying there's no doubt in my mind it won't happen. It's minimal at most. And so I want to talk about a little bit and help maybe you see what I see, and maybe you won't have as much doubt after you hear this. But I want to start off with what it takes to be number one. And I mean, see, I've prepared myself to be number one. You know what I'm saying? I've read books. When I stayed 30 days out at my dad's farm, I had books on leadership, and because I knew I was going to be a leader at some time. And basically the revolution, it really boils down to me changing to become a better person, become more polished, and what I do and how I come across on the internet, which if you look at my older videos compared to my newer ones, you'll see that I'm getting more polished. But I still got a lot of stuff to go through before I'm ready to start taking on the world's problems in more in depth than just YouTube. So I wanted to read something here. Let's see. Okay. He says, okay, here's what he said. You need to be out and about, soliciting ideas, speaking to people's concerns, and enthusiastically selling the vision. You may vary the medium and the venue, but you don't vary the message. In short, succinct, repeat often, and back it up by actions, and sooner or later people will begin to know you mean it. And if you watch my videos, I haven't really backed up any on what I'm saying, because there's no need to back up, because it's the truth. When you have the moral authority, there's no reason to back up. Let me see. Let me start up here. Let's see. This challenge is even greater at organizational levels. As we said earlier, if people can't see it, they can't commit to it. Unless your power to articulate a vision is strong, you can't call forth organizational commitment. Your people have to see it, hear it, taste it, and smell the vision. They have to recognize it when it comes down the hall. So if you want to know what it takes to be number one, you got to learn from people that's been number one, and not just pretend you're going to be number one. Okay, let me mark that off my board. Okay, next thing. Once somebody shows a better way, it's only a matter of time before it takes over. Remember Galileo. We all know the earth revolves around the sun. Nobody's doubting that today. Everybody knows it. It's foolish to deny that the world revolves around the sun. And like I've said in other videos, a good parent removes the scissors out of the child's hand and replaces it with the ball. And basically, we do need religion and spirituality, but we need to get rid of these archaic spirituality stuff that's really destroying us and causing us all kinds of problems, like the beheadings and the Christians doing this and that, and everybody doing stupid shit that don't really work anyway, and replace it with something that does work, that can help people move to the next level. Because humans, if we do not evolve to the next, religions the way they are now are standing in the way of humans evolving to the next level. Okay. And the part about being a savior, I don't really even consider myself a savior or nothing like that, because that's really sort of, I'm just a guy that sees the truth and just, trying to help other people see it too. We all have our purpose in life, and I'm just trying to serve my purpose to the best of my ability. I consider myself a person who's going to bring intelligent people together through the wisdom, insight, and time. And really, the time's a big factor in that. If I speak the truth and honestly keep seeking it and keep learning it deeper and keep talking about it, it will eventually take over. Plus, the videos I put out, they will continue to go on long after my death. And in my family, we keep our minds until like close to death. So I'll be able to teach until I die. And we have a history of living to be old. So I can probably teach anywhere up close to 100. So, you know, I sort of look at myself as a spiritual scientist, not as a savior. I mean, sometimes I consider myself sort of the policeman of the spiritual world because I've got white man in me, I've got Native American in me, I've got Jew in me. So it's a lot of different things in me. But, I mean, I don't get too caught up in, I mean, you may see some egotistical things come out as I'm working through them, but I'll eventually work through them, and, you know, so, okay, at a minimum, what will happen on this spiritual path is I will live it every single day of my life until the day I die. However, okay, until the day I die, and share it with others. With that said, though, that's not where it's going to stop. I mean, it's just not going to do it. It's just, I mean, like yesterday I was talking with somebody I met on YouTube who lives in Louisville. We were talking on the phone, and you know, I didn't know him previously. His name's Mike. I won't give his YouTube name out. I may not want it out, but his name's Mike. We're talking, and I can just feel that he gets it. He understands. He sees the vision, and he's going to pick it up. And he's already, it's already there. He's already had it transmitted really to him, and it's only, you know, and there's been other people that sent me messages. They're taking it on. They're trying it. And again, it's not a. What happens a lot of times, you get these cult people that come along that make people like me look like we're lunatics when we're not lunatics. You know what I'm saying? So this is the real deal. This is what's going to take over. It's all common sense. Most of the spiritual crap that we've had, you know, some of the spiritual crap, the New Age stuff we have, is not necessarily that good. It doesn't really get down to the whole point of, really at the end of the day, your spirituality is about making a better life for yourself, not about getting caught up in somebody else's philosophy. So what if I'm saying doesn't help you grow as a human being, then you probably should go somewhere where you can find it. And don't get me wrong, Reeland's not being insulting or anything by what he's commenting. He's just stating his opinion, and I'm not conflicting his thoughts. I'm just trying to encourage the overcoming of that doubt. It's going to happen. Now, you know, obviously I would want it to happen within the next year or two. Obviously, I'd like to see it happen in 10 years. I'd like to see it happen in 20 years. But the reality is it's going to grow slow like a tree. It may take 40 years before it even really starts becoming mainstream. And it will probably take centuries, if not a millennium, to take over completely over all the religions that we have now, because they're so deeply rooted. These religions we have are thousands of years rooted in the conscious mind of man and the unconscious, so it's going to take some serious time. And, you know, we each all have our part to play, and if you really believe that what I'm telling you is the truth, which it is, then, you know, we all got to do our part to make it happen. And I'm not saying make it happen to make me famous. I'm saying if you, and the quickest way you can make this happen is to live it. You know, it's not about handing out brochures for me and stuff like that, which that would be nice if you could do that. You know, if I could send you some brochures and you hand them out to people you know would need it, or you turn them on to what's going on here. But at the end of the day, if you really want to see this thing happen and go far, then just live it. You know what I'm saying? Try to understand the principles and try to think about it and use those principles to solve the problems that you have in your life. And when people see and you having, and you'll transmit it to people and they may not even know that it came from me. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter about me. And that's what somebody was saying. Well, what if somebody steals your idea and goes off and publishes a book, you know, and steals your idea? And I said, I don't care. As long as the ideas get out there, that's what really matters. Don't get me wrong. If somebody does do that, I will deal with them. You know, whatever means necessary. If I have to go sue them or whatever. But at the end of the day, it don't matter about me. It matters about getting the ideas out to make this world a better place. Because people have in the past have done stuff for us who are living right now. You know, gave their lives in wars to make sure that we're safe. Or, you know, Galileo being unrelenting hardly and saying, hey, the sun, we revolve around the sun, and they did things and they had to suffer for it. And really my biggest fear on this, well, it's not really the biggest fear, but concern is that my concern isn't that it's not gonna happen. My concern is it is gonna happen, and how am I going to deal with people who, like Christians and these Muslims, who want to kill me because I'm basically taking away their religion from them. So that's my biggest concern. My concern is not, is it going to happen? My concern is, am I going to die for doing it? So, And really, if you really look at it, the only thing you have to fear in this life is being out of harmony with the essence of life. So, with that said, I don't even really fear them really, as long as I treat them with respect. Time will deal with them effectively, and that's really the only thing it'll happen. I mean, it's already happening. It started 8 years ago or 9 years ago when I started this thing, so it's gonna happen. Did have one other thing to say, but anyway, like I say, that's all I want to say. I just wanted to put a video because I figured other people were maybe feeling the same way, and if you listen to my videos, you know I'm not crazy. I mean, I may have some egotistical things that come up that make you think that, but they'll be gone in time. When I get more polished, this thing will take hold. Later, folks.